Mourning and abduction continues in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon hit by an armed conflict. The Anglophone crisis, the people of the region continue to cry the devastating effect of the Anglophone crisis, and in the northwest region of Cameroon, reports see a service head of the Center for the Demobilization and Reintegration has been kidnapped by unidentified individuals to an undisclosed destination. Meantime, the first ever on-the-ground action of the Northwest Regional Assembly has taken place in Bamenda, chief town of the region. The executive members of the Northwest Regional Assembly are committing to dedicate a bigger chunk of the budget of the Regional Assembly to bring back security to the region. Meantime, still in the region, the lifeless body of a popular lady has been found by a riverside. It is in the Donga Mountain division of the Northwest region of Cameroon. Plus, the new police chief for Limbe of the Fako in the Southwest region has been commanded and given the task to completely kick out Ghost Town from the city of Limbe. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining Equinoxe Television on the 6 p.m. primetime newscast. We are live from our central news desk in Douala, Cameroon's economic capital city, Equinoxe Central News Desk. We begin with the abduction of a key member of the DDR Center in the Northwest Regional Chieftain Bamenda to say that online media organs in Cameroon are reporting the abduction of Kum Henry. Kum Henry, the service head of the Northwest Regional Center for Demobilization and Reintegration Commission, which is found in the Northwest Regional Chieftain Bamenda, whose image you can see on your screen there. Sources say he was picked up Tuesday evening from his Damokon residence of the city of Bamenda by unidentified individuals to an undisclosed destination. Kum Henry was one-time provincial scribe, that is the Secretary General of the Social Democratic Front (SDF) party for the Northwest region of Cameroon, before cross-carpeting to the ruling Cameroon People's Democratic Movement Party, that is the CPTM party, some years ago. He will later become the service head of the DDR Center in the Northwest Regional Chieftain Bamenda before his abduction by yet to be identified individuals to an undisclosed destination. Northwest Regional administrators are yet to officially comment on his reported abduction, but it is widely reported by several online media organs in Cameroon. We are closely following this with our correspondent in the Northwest Regional Chieftain, and we'll be coming back to that subsequently. And we stay in the Northwest region of Cameroon, where reports say a second grade inspector has been taken away, or has taken away his own life in the Northwest Regional Chieftain of Bamenda. A local online organ is reporting that the Inspector Kamga shot himself in his room at Old Town Bamenda. Equinoxe, a reporter in the Northwest Chieftain of Bamenda, is investigating the story. It is not certain what pushed him to commit suicide. And other images you see there are images of the lifeless body of a man of a lady, a popular lady in the Donga Mountain divisional chieftain of Kambe. The images you see on your screen there, according to our correspondent in that part of the Northwest region, the early hours of Tuesday in the neighborhoods of Manso, Kwata, and Kambe Central Subdivision at a riverside called Lalur was the lifeless body of a hawker, a popular hawker of cow skin commonly called Kanda. The lady is called Ngani Veronica and about 30 years old, who was said to have been brutally murdered by an unidentified individual. A young boy who is about 8 years old reportedly was washing dresses at the river Lalur when she saw the lifeless body of Ngani Veronica along that is beside the river. Thanks to the intervention of bike riders and the president, who then took individuals and vital information to administrators and the security officials of the area. The senior divisional officer for the Donga Mountain division and his state council, as well as the police head and gendarmerie head, descended to the scene together with other key officials and collaborators with onlookers, where the body of the popular lady Ngani Veronica was finally taken to the Nkambe District Hospital mortuary. The senior divisional officer on his part has promised that a key investigation will be launched to understand who is behind the untimely death of the lady. And just shortly after that, our correspondent spoke to the senior divisional officer who was talking to the population in this extract translated from Pidgin to English.
Human wickedness. And we here in Donga Mantu, we believe say God day. When man kill another one, he go live forever. No.
This is man's wickedness, and we in Donga Mantu believe in the existence of God. Those who kill will not live forever. God knows the responsible and will pay them accordingly. However, we have also decided to prohibit the movement of civilians beyond 10 p.m. Those are unholy hours, and only the forces of law and order are allowed to move around beyond 10 p.m. You people, you should go home and allow the forces of law and order to do what they should do in this case.
Okay, so when I don't see him, when I go back, but make any man take care of himself, and he report for forces. He report as quickly as possible for forces any of such cases.
And the key information regarding the reported kidnap of the service head of the DDR Center of the Northwest region of Cameroon has been confirmed by our correspondent in the city of Bamenda, who says she has been on phone, or she has been trying to get to the coordinator of the center to no avail. She is in Bamenda and confirms that it is true. The man, Henry Kum, was taken away from his Ndamukong residence by unidentified individuals, but highly suspected to be separatist fighters, to an undisclosed destination. We are closely following up that, and we'll be coming back to that. And the officials of the Northwest Regional Assembly have had their first on-the-ground activity in Bamenda. During a meeting, they committed to dedicate a bigger portion of the budget for the institution to bring back security to the conflict-stricken region. Mbustela tells us more in the following report.
Since the putting in place of the Regional Assembly for the Northwest region, work is yet to effectively commence due to no budget, among other constraints. It is against this backdrop that an interministerial delegation made up of experts from the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Decentralization and Local Development, and the Ministry of the Economy, Planning and Regional Development are in Bamenda for a 2-day workshop aimed at assisting the Regional Assembly prepare their first program budget.
The major objectives of this seminar is for us to be able to come out with a base budget approach, meaning we need to move away from the normal idea of the budget, then we move to a budget-based approach which takes into consideration planification, which takes into consideration the different actions, which takes into consideration the activities, right up to the awaited results.
The budget is expected to enable the Assembly better execute their mapped-out action plan, with peace building as the most essential.
The region has specificities. One of the problems that is at the fore is the crisis. So we have to see what part of the budget will go for peace building, which will probably be in the 4th program within our structured budget.
In his opening address, Adolphe Lele-Lafrique, sitting in as the representative of the state, cautioned the participants to take ownership of the procedures in order to meet the expectations of the Northwest man. On the streets of Bamenda, the common man wants to see the realities of the spatial status for the Northwest and Southwest regions arrived at during the major national dialogue.
Stella reporting the end traders of Grananga, Ryle and Bonasama market of Bonaberi in the Douala-4 subdivision have scrambled over face masks distributed by Isa Dauda, who is the divisional officer for the Douala-4 subdivision. To the administrator, it is important to re-echo the reality of COVID-19 or the real existence of COVID-19 to traders, a category of people whom, according to him, are most vulnerable vis-a-vis the contamination of COVID-19. More with Innocent.
Like school children lined up to receive puff-puff or sweets, traders in the Grand Hangar, Rai and Bonasama markets in Bonaberi toed the line, scrambling over face masks being distributed by Isa Dauda, divisional officer for Douala-4 subdivision. They might not have been putting on the face mask, but desperately needed it, probably free of charge. At the least, a clear indication they are aware the coronavirus still lives and will. A gesture they all hail.
Coronavirus is a call for concern.
Les gens ne croient pas, mais il y a ça dehors. Je lui dis merci beaucoup.
He don't give it cash for market. Now he will already glad. Merci de nous encourager. Merci. Merci, merci.
Others might not have received a face mask, but at least got a cube of soap to wash hands.
Je vous remercie beaucoup. J'ai même tendu la main sur le cache-nez. Je n'ai pas humégé mes cache-nez.
Laver le main avec toute ma famille. Là, merci, monsieur le maire.
Apart from distributing the face mask, soap and installation of hand-washing buckets in the various markets, the divisional officer preached on the need to rush to hospitals for a COVID-19 test should anyone suspects symptoms.
Le district de santé est là. Les tests sont en train d'arriver.
It is better to be tested early than late.
Avant que ce ne soit tard. Vous comprenez, non? Merci beaucoup.
For those who ignore existence of the coronavirus, he reiterates.
La maladie est dehors. Pour cela, nous devons porter le masque. Run quickly to the hospital when they hear a pain on their body. This is the message that I've come today to share.
This operation, deemed very imperative by the divisional officer, is expected to intensify as markets remain delicate places should there exist a case.
And still in COVID-19 related information, President Paul Biya has ordered proper auditing of the money dedicated to the fight against COVID-19 given to the government of Cameroon by the International Monetary Fund, the IMF. The information was made public following a document circulating on social media in Cameroon. The information says an audit should be done scrupulously to understand how the money was spent in the campaign against COVID-19. It is widely followed by Cameroonians who think that heads might just roll even after the auditing. Some Cameroonians have gone as far as saying that people who are charged with using the money given to Cameroon by IMF to fight COVID-19 are potential candidates to the Kondenge prison, that is the Yaoundé Central Prison in the Kondenge neighborhoods of the political capital city of Cameroon. And now we talk something else, but staying in Yaoundé, to say that some 3 suspected producers of fake identity cards have been intercepted by elements of the Feed District Police Unit of Yaoundé. The arrest was done after an individual who was caught with fake identity card took them to those believed to be behind the producing of fake ID cards. Details with Simat Njikan Gabriel.
Printers, laptops, cameras, stamps of top officials in the country were some of the items discovered at a residence in Yaoundé after a search done by police officers from the 5th district. The accused are involved in the production of fake identification cards. It all began on the night of 3rd breaking 4th April 2021 when this gentleman was arrested.
During
our normal patrol, our team saw a suspect at the CHU neighborhood. It was past midnight, so we arrested him.
Minuit passé, sa présence suspecte en ce lieu a conduit à son interpellation. Il a été conduit ici à la base.
At the level of identifying the man, the police discovered he was in possession of a fake identity card receipt.
En regardant son récit.
Looking at his identity card receipt, we discovered that his receipt was delivered on April 5th, 2021, but we were still on the 3rd, breaking the 4th of April.
C'est ça qui a appelé, attiré notre attention.
It is there that he confessed about the man who gave him the identity card receipt in the person of Kyutu Aliyu.
On l'a donc exploité. Il nous a fait comprendre que c'est.
We interrogated him, then he told us it was a friend who gave him the receipt since he posed a problem, and the latter gave him the receipt of the identity card. He then took us to the 3rd person.
Qui avait également un récépissé faux. Quand on l'a également interrogé et exploité ce deuxième, il nous a donc conduit vers le 3e.
The arrest of Aliyu led to the capture of a 3rd person who was the main man behind the production of the fake documents. The security forces put this advice to the population. The population should go to the right places to do their documents and stay away from trouble.
Police est dans des postes d'identification.
The persons arrested are expected to be presented to the State Council in the days ahead.
The new Limbe police boss has been charged to completely eradicate ghost town, a phenomenon that has been common in major towns and cities in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon since the escalation of the Anglophone crisis. The key message and command to the Limbe police boss came from the southwest regional delegate of the national security during his installation. The installation of the police boss in Limbe. Davidson Mamo tells us more from the seaside resort city of Limbe.
Monday, the 5th of April 2021, the seaside resort city of Limbe, business activities were partially shut down. Urban and interurban transportation paralyzed, as it was a traditional ghost town day, better known as Country Sunday, activated by the ongoing armed conflict in the 2 English-speaking regions of Cameroon. The influx of internally displaced persons into Limbe, a safe haven within the context of the ongoing crisis, has drastically increased crime waves within the city. These and more are some of the vices the newly installed 6-star commissioner to Limbe Central Police, Ayibi Simon Jean-Pierre, has to deal with, as was instructed by Southwest Police Boss Ndinga Jean-Marie.
The fight against the phenomenon of death city reclaimed every Monday by the terrorist secessionists. The fight without mercy against terrorists, secessionist terrorists and criminals of all stripes, with a view to maintaining the climate of peace that reigns in this city without fail.
The regional police boss reminded him to work in synergy with related defense and security unit, not leaving out the administration in achieving his mission.
With all the active force in your area of command, collaboration with the administrative, municipal, religious and traditional authority, who should help you through intelligence to make your action on the ground effective.
Given the strategic nature of Limbe to the government of Cameroon, the new Limbe Central Police Boss, Ayibi Simon Jean-Pierre, says his primary mission is to protect lives and property.
And you know that Limbe is a strategic town for our country. I have come to mobilize the troops here. We have to ensure the security of people and their property.
He called on the population to collaborate with the police to gain total security of the city.
The collaboration with the population is necessary because those acts of terrorism affect all the population, not only the state administration. So those people who are affected, we need them to work with them to resolve this problem.
Before his appointment to Limbe, he was head of the continuous training department at the police headquarters in Yaoundé. He replaces 6-star Commissioner Do Marcel Aristide, appointed in same capacity at Douala 3 City Central Police. The ceremony was attended, among others, the senior divisional officer for FACO, local administration, judicial, heads of related defense and security unit, and the population.
And on our foreign news page, we take you to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where fighting has been ongoing in the country's northern parts, as well as the fighting between the forces loyal to the government of Ethiopia in Addis Ababa and forces loyal to rebels in the Tigray region of the country. Charles Ekome tells us more in the following international news roundup.
Dozens of people have been killed during several days of clashes on the border between Ethiopia's Afar and Somali regions. Homes have been set on fire in villages on contested land, as each regional state in Ethiopia has its own police force now. Officials in Afar accuse the Somali special forces of killing 30 people on Saturday. The authorities in the Somali regions say at least 25 livestock farmers were killed by gunmen who came in from over the state border in Afar. It is not clear how many people were killed in the latest revenge attack, which took place earlier on Tuesday, but reports confirm that elections due in June have led to increased tensions over the disputed border areas. In Nigeria, gunmen attacked and set ablaze a police station in the southeastern part of the country, hours after Vice President Yemi Osinbajo's visit to assess the damage from an earlier raid. Professor Osinbajo had earlier visited the area to assess the damage from Monday's attack on a prison in Imo State's capital, Owerri. The attack on the police station recorded no casualties and no lives were lost, but 3 vehicles were burnt in the attack.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up is Talking Point. Stay with us. On Talking Points today, we'll be receiving 2 political figures in Cameroon. First, to start with the person in the nation's political capital city, Yaoundé. We shall be having on the line to Yaoundé Incha Roland Moi. He is the national president of the UCPP political party, founder of the One Cameroon project, and president of the anti-separatist agency in Cameroon. He is also a journalist with a bi-weekly newspaper and an online TV or project that is a project of the One Cameroon movement, a political personality in Cameroon. Moi Roland, thanks for joining us from Yaoundé, Cameroon.
Thank you so much.
We are receiving you for the first time since the launch of your political party, that is the UCPP political party, and it is also important to note that you launch your political party within the context or at the peak of the Anglophone crisis. What inspired you to bring your political party at the time when the political climate in Cameroon was not the best, noting that you are an Anglophone?
An Anglophone president in Cameroon after I think an Anglophone the presidency to the
And of course, the connection with the nation's political capital city is not the best. We shall be getting to him. As I indicated, we are also having another political figure, popular one too, in Cameroon, Thankful Jones. You are welcome. Thanks for accepting our invitation.
Thank you so much, Mr. For me, it was a pleasure and an honor to come here and share my view.
To know that you are a Secretary General of Modegna political party.
Absolutely, and we are fighting so hard to see that this nation moves forward and be what it is supposed to be, given that so many lapses have caused us to be where we are today with the crisis in the north and the south that have taken over 4 to getting to 5 years of our time that we have been using to build this nation. I think it is something that we really need to come together, put our energies together to see into it that peace returns in the 2 English-speaking regions.
Thankful Jones, you have the Modegna political party. We just had somebody with a political party recently launched. Some Cameroonians are blaming the existence of so many political parties in Cameroon for what Cameroon is facing today, be the crisis in the 2 Anglophone regions and the post-electoral crisis with the tense atmosphere, political and social, that the country is facing.
Yes, political parties are being blamed, but we cannot blame political parties because majority of them are doing what they should do to see into it that the country moves forward, especially in Modegna. We have been working so hard to see that things in Cameroon should be the way they are supposed to be. But we cannot also deny the fact that there are satellite political parties, which means that they are working for the system. They are being sponsored and created by the system to make sure that they push their agenda right to the end.
Excluding your Modegna?
Excluding Modegna. Modegna has never been and will never be a satellite party in this nation. We are fighting for the good of Cameroon and not for the status quo to be maintained.
What do you mean by satellite political party?
Satellite political party, a party that is being created by member of the ruling party to distract the opposition or
like which of the parties,
terrain.
For example?
I will not be calling names here. You know, calling names will be very dangerous for those parties. But we work in the field and we know them and we know their agenda. These are people that when you say that they should boycott the elections because of what is going on in the northwest and the southwest, they will kick against. They will say that no boycott. They are ready to go in for the election, even when they know that the electoral code is not so favorable. It's not so fashioned in the way that it gives opportunity to the political parties of the opposition to also have equal stance as when it comes to political battle on the field.
Okay, and now we go back to our national president of a political party. He is in Yaoundé. And Maroulan, are you okay with Thankful Jones that there are satellite political parties in Cameroon created by members of the ruling CPTM to destabilize the opposition? And if yes, is your party one of such parties?
The UCPP is a party created by the common of the people because the people have already exhausted all their political agenda. That is why we have created a party to bring change to the ballot box and, to remove a regime which has stayed in power for close to 40 years, who have been able not to deliver the goods to Cameroon. So I think we are coming with a lot of force with 6 million plus members to fight the presidency through the ballot box. And I believe that we are going to win the elections because we have already 1.5 million registered at the Lake Camp list. And we believe that the UCPP is a party for all Cameroonians. It is a party for the youth because we believe that the CPDM party has paid us. And the CPDM party is no more a political party. It is a government mechanism made, to do government. So the party is created to bring change to the ballot box. So we are calling on all Cameroonians to rally behind the UCPP, especially separatist fighters who are in the bushes, drop their weapons and come out in the bushes and join us to fight through the ballot box. Because I think the gun is not the solution.
Mwarulancha, you are talking about a party that you think, your party that you think will be taking over the presidency of Cameroon, for example, and at the same time you are presenting as a party to stand for the Anglophones. If it is that party that is only there for the Anglophones, are the Anglophones to vote you as a political party, considering the numbers in politics, will you be able to get to it with the votes from the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon?
The Anglophones have been marginalized. The Anglophones, that is Cameroonians of English expression, have been marginalized. So there's no way to take by the national cake. It is only through the ballot box, because I think the UCPP is a party for all Cameroonians, but it is a party to bring change and to bring equality in the share of the national cake, because the national cake has not been properly shared. That is why we have the issues in the north of the country. I have the issues in the northwest and southwest region. So that's why I'm calling on all Cameroonians in general and Anglophones in particular rally behind a party that is meant for change.
But your personality, Mwarulancha, your personality matters here also. You are one of the founders, or say the founders of the anti-separatist agency. That is, you are fighting those known or said to be separatists who are believed to be Cameroonians, your Anglophone brothers and sisters. You are also determined in fighting them, and at the same time saying you are presenting yourself as the president of a party that will be the one to liberate the Anglophones from marginalization.
Yes, in my capacity as a national unity activist, I fight what is against our national unity, because separation is not the best option for Cameroon. Together we can build a better Cameroon despite the difficulties. So I'm calling on them to understand that separation is not possible, because we have a bigger plan to make one strong and indivisible Cameroon for the benefit of all Cameroonians. So separation is out of topic. So we have to work together from all over the 10 regions and 50 divisions and 360 municipalities and Cameroonians of goodwill in the diaspora to come together and fight for our fatherland. We have just one country. So that's why we hate separatists, because they are spoiling the game of national unity. They are spoiling the game of prosperity, because they are killing innocent people, and that's why they are anti-unity agents. So that's why we want to stop them and encourage them through education that the gun cannot help them, and that the diaspora has lied to them for close to 4 years now.
On most of your online outings, you have dedicated more energy in fighting the separatists than presenting the Anglophone cause. Is that not controversial? Is that not controversial to what you're presenting now as the agenda of your political party? And of course, we shall be coming back to him. We're talking to another leader of a political party who is said to be presenting his party as that which will liberate Anglophones.
Yeah, he is the only one who has the, how can I call it, the agenda of his party. He knows what he wants and he knows what he's looking for. But we, as a people of Modena and Cameroonians, we want a Cameroon that will be prosperous, because.
But now you are a critical thinker and a politician. Do you find something contradictory in what Mwaroland says and does and presents as the agenda of his political party?
Well, yeah, when he talks, I am tempted to think that he is surprised of the political terrain, given that he is fighting many battles at the same time and is not consistent in his fighting. Because if you come out that you want to fight the separatists, and at the same time you are saying that you are fighting for the Anglophones to have a better share of the national cake. Because when we look critically at this Anglophone crisis, we realize that it was not a problem of living together that brought us to where we are today. It has ever been the problem of eating together, which Mr. Patrick is talking about it, and I am okay with him. But now the question is this: if you say that you want to fight for the well-being of the Anglophones, and you are at the same time fighting the separatists, now can you distinguish between the Anglophone and the separatists? It becomes very difficult, given that the way the government has taken to solve this problem has turned so many Anglophones to sympathize with the separatists. Ask me why. I will tell you that if up till date the population of the Northwest and the Southwest are unable to collaborate with the government, with the forces in place, it means that in somehow they are covering the voices who are in the bushes. If not, they will deliver the voices, because those guys don't come from mass. There are people who live in those cities and are well known by those who live there. So I think that
with surprising reports like we having a key official abducted in the heart of Bamenda, Ndamukong is not that remote.
Ndamukong is not remote in the heart of Bamenda, with all the security forces present. So you see that it becomes very delicate to cut a clear cut between the separatists and the Anglophones. Now the situation is very delicate. If something should take place in this country concerning politics, who should go to A2D and who should not go? We believe in Modena that let the political terrain be serene. It should be quiet. Peace should reign, because without peace, effective politics can never take place. Even though people will tell you that it happened elsewhere. Elsewhere is not Cameroon. If you want to take what is happening elsewhere and you bring in Cameroon, then you are trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, because that elsewhere they don't have 360 political parties. So here in Cameroon is a different case.
Modena longs for peace in Cameroon, wants a proper share of the national cake and resources to be distributed that is justly,
equally.
Now, at the same time, you you are part of those political parties who has consistently been on the agenda of boycotting elections.
Yes.
And political scientists argue that boycotting has never been productive in politics, rather counterproductive.
Counterproductive. We always sit on these theories that it has never, times are changing and things should change with time. We didn't have the Anglophone crisis getting up to this level. If it is getting up to this level, I think that there are some measures that we should put in place to see into it that we counter or fight this agenda of the men that we don't know, because from now as we speak, we don't even know who is behind the Anglophone crisis. Now, the question is, what should we do to make sure that there is peace in Cameroon? Because somebody, Mr. Cha said that guns have never been the solution. But when these people took peace plan to the street, what was their response? Guns. And you cannot fight, you cannot try to tell somebody that don't pick a gun and you pick the gun against the person. You teach a child how to handle a gun and you will fall back and complain that why is the child being stubborn?
Jones, we are looking at a Cameroon really divided in opinion. We actually having people, even of the opposition like you, being targeted, at least with insult and threats, from those fully radicalized in the northwest and southwest regions. We also having you with challenges with the ruling opposition party and now a division within the opposition.
Yeah,
how do you get to reconcile these voices and the change of power at the helm of Cameroon?
It becomes very complicated because when you talk about targeting, it is everywhere. From the people who are extremists, they target you. Some who think that patriotism is all about agreeing or not disagreeing with a particular political party. When you agree with that political party, you are a patriot. When you disagree with them, you are an unpatriotic Cameroonian. So you see that it becomes so complicated. And with the voices, when you say something that is against them, you become a blackleg. But meanwhile, what we are saying is maybe a way forward. But we have two extremist parties who are fighting, and to bring them together becomes very difficult. Now, we in Modena propose that a dialogue, a genuine dialogue should be organized where there will be no taboo and everything should be discussed so that differences. Look at somebody like late Cardinal Tume, who just died, who had fought so that the Cameroonians can come together and discuss their differences, and then there is nothing, because no matter how long these bullets fly, these two parties will end up on a table, on a discussion table. So why should we waste much time and then waste too much lives, so many lives? Let's go to the table now, discuss the differences if we believe that we are truthful about what we preach.
In this context, in this fight of tigers, is the opposition helpless?
The opposition is helpless because they don't even have the means to even
what
say
means
their
are
voice.
you talking about, for example? Financial?
Even financial, because when we talk today, if you have to go to a place like Norwest, it requires a lot. Because when you look at those who go there, you need a body, you need a security agent to be by you to get you. Because you go there like that, my brother, you don't know who is targeting you there, because now there's so much disorder in the northwest and the southwest that anybody can tag you whatsoever before they know it. Before they know who you are, you must have been killed. And that is a life that is wasted. So people are very careful. Those who have the abilities to go there with armor cars, they are doing it. But some of us in the opposition, how will I manage to get an armor car at my disposal? It is impossible. So you see that it becomes very difficult. Even if I had the will to go or the means to go there and talk to those voices, how am I going to get to them?
It's going to be very difficult.
It becomes very difficult because the opposition in Cameroon have been fashioned in such a way that they become beggars. So that at the end of the day, when you look left, you look right, there's nowhere you can lay your hands on. You now look up to the system like a god so that they can give you appointment, and you go to Yaoundé and you start speaking the other language.
What stops from the opposition from coming up with a one and stronger voice?
What stops the opposition from coming up with a one and stronger voice is that there are satellite parties in the opposition. I call them distractors. They distract the opposition. Immediately you start saying that opposition parties should come together and speak with one voice. These dictators will tell you that they will not come together. And when they don't come together, because if in 2018 the opposition parties came together to send one candidate, I think they would have had a better result, or even coming together to boycott that no opposition party takes part in that election, the international community is going to see that there is something wrong in the country whereby the opposition says that no, they are not going for elections because people are being killed in the Northwest and the Southwest. And when you look critically, you realize that the Northwest and the Southwest is the fear of opposition in Cameroon. If Cameroon, the opposition in Cameroon is present in 5 regions in Cameroon, because that's what the statistics show, that opposition is present completely in 5 regions in Cameroon. If 2 regions out of the 5 regions in Cameroon are down, you cannot go there for campaign, because when you don't go there for campaign, obviously we have GOs, we have SGOs, we have the military men and the government workers who are there who will vote for the party in power. Now you of the opposition who cannot go there, you have already lost those 2 regions, and now you are working on 3 regions. There is no hope when you work on 3 regions out of 10 in the nation like Cameroon, because you are working on a minus, how can I say, -7.
Okay, Junes, finally, before we leave this place, there is reports, or there are reports of people being hampered, or information threatening people from going into and out of the Northwest region through some stretches. And when you analyze that, you feel like, what pains, the pains of the people of the Northwest regions of Cameroon, where is it coming from most? And how can it be redeemed in the nearest future before a long-run solution that you are talking about?
I pity this population that is helpless, because now it is rumored that the entrance or movement out of the region is prohibited. The people are in the middle, because at the given point in time when you go there, they complain that the men in uniform also don't make life easy for them there. There are too much road controls. You live from a Commercial Avenue to Bambili, you have about 8 road controls. The police miscontrols, and at each control, the taxi drivers are obliged to settle the control at least with 1,000 francs. It means that on the journey you have to spend about 8,000 francs to go to Bambili. You see that the population now are faced with the increment in transport fare, and life becomes very difficult. On the other side, somebody will sit somewhere and write a note and send on social media that people should not move from the Northwest or into the Northwest region. Meanwhile, we know that food is coming from that area, and there are business people who have to come and buy out of the Northwest and then take it back to the Northwest. Life becomes very difficult. I think that for these people to start enjoying life as they used to, peace should come back to place, and the government know what to do to make sure that peace returns in the Northwest and the Southwest.
Thank you very much, Tamfo Jones. For me, you are the Secretary General of the Modegna Political Party. We also extend our thanks to Ncha Roland Mwa, who is the National President of the UCPP Political Party. He was on the line to the nation's political capital city, Yaoundé. Ladies and gentlemen, we are grateful that you stayed with us. Stay in the company of interesting programs on Equinoxe Television.